let's go to your emails. On the topic of, is sex addiction real? Is it overdiagnosed? Is it overblown? Kyle wrote to me, and he said that there is definitely something called sex addiction, but it should not be confused with nymphomania or hypersexuality. When individuals choose to engage in sexual activity rather than fulfilling their basic needs, eating or sleeping, that would represent an actual addiction. And Kyle says sex addiction has been popularized in the mainstream media recently. We hear about Tiger Woods, and we hear about, soon maybe Herman Cain we'll be hearing about. Who knows at this point who is going to claim to just have the illness of sex addiction. And, I think the other thing to look at is real addicts experience withdrawal symptoms when they eliminate something. So sexual addicts, by that definition, should really be experiencing withdrawal symptoms, right?
I guess so. Probably, yeah.
So I think I agree with Kyle in the sense that it does exist, but it is vastly overdiagnosed. That's
Absolutely.
my view.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think there's a big difference between someone who can't stop having sex and someone with a lot of money who's very famous and good-looking and popular having sex with multiple partners because they can.
Right. Big difference.
Yeah.
On the topic of the child taken from his parents because he is obese and it was being called negligence, Kim says that it's a good thing I brought up the calorie part of the issue, but I also need to take into consideration the socioeconomic status. Maybe the family can't pay for school sports. The family might live in an unsafe neighborhood where they can't go outside and play safely. The family can't watch the child. Maybe physical education has been cut from the school. That there's a lot of other socioeconomic factors that need to be considered when we look at, is an obese child obese because of negligence from the parents? And I agree with that. There are a number of factors we have to look at.
Yeah, but I still think this is one of those cases where if you just lower the calorie intake of your child and do not let them eat as much as they want whenever they want, this would never have happened.
I can't agree with you completely because I think there's other factors. We oftentimes, we talked about it on the last show, so we won't get into it again. But
we don't have the time.
We don't have the time. And on the topic of the passenger of size on the U.S. Airways flight forcing his seatmate to stand the entire time, Ned wrote to me saying overlarge passengers should be regulated the way oversized luggage is regulated. You need to fit within a certain space. You could have the same way that some airlines have the little box that your carry-on luggage has to fit into. You have to have a seat, and you have to go, and when you check in, you sit in the seat, and the agent looks you over and tells you at that point you've either got to buy...
And if you're too big, they throw you in the baggage hold.
No, you either have to buy a second seat or you've got to buy a ticket on a flight that has empty seats, which isn't too convenient because people could easily go on standby and end up filling that.
There's still the problem of flights being booked when you arrive.
Exactly. So it's an interesting thing. I think that there would be a lot of negativity in response to having everyone sit in a seat and observe how much space they take up. But we'll see what happens. See you on the bonus show. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.
The David Pakman Show at davidpakman.com.